Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time I'm back with Song of the Crimson Nile with episode 3. This story is so intense. Like, I am just mesmerized by the beauty of this. And let's see what's gonna happen in this episode. The consequences of recent events will soon reveal themselves. What did I do now? What trouble did I ask for? Episode 3. Leaving Hermopolis. I did say that this man was gonna take me. Eva spent the following day feeling worried. Isman was immediately accepted into the squad. He was eager to go and even urged her to go with him.
He wants to recruit you as a scribe. Maybe you'll catch someone's eye there and get promoted.
You know what I really do?
Yes, but if you get a chance at success in another craft, will you really continue practicing dark magic?
It's a part of her. I still think that she would still continue doing it. Isman.
Oh, shush, Mudai Young. You can't hide from the hunters forever. I don't want such a fate for you,
They couldn't stop going back to the same topic that had seen them bickering over the last few years. Naive Isman. He stubbornly believes that I will succeed. Dia, who looked even gloomier, was braiding her hair.
We don't need to be careful around the temple today. If the apostates picks me out of the crowd and assigns me to the squad, I'll lose my head.
You won't. If he assigns you to the squad, just do what they say and don't take commissions. Remao won't let us mess around under the hunter's noses. The risk is too high.
He took a commission at the house, even if he knew there was a risk of running into the apostates. Do you really think he'd turn down any chance?
I have no idea what awaits us. Eva started getting ready for her lesson. Okay. Ooh. I have to. I'm sorry, I have to. Leave it at that. Alright. Ooh. Honestly, they all look kind of cute. I probably would go with this one. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one. Don't want to look again? Nah, leave it at that. Ring. What ring? Huh? Oh, necklace. Okay. This one. If we can take something, we take it all. Let me stop. Leave it at that. Once ready, she and Dia left for the lesson. Trouble awaits us. I can feel it. In the semi-darkness of a closed, spacious hall, Mentor Remao was giving a lecture. His few apprentices sat into chairs. They started taking notes, scribbling on parchment. He explained how a person's feelings worked in a dream and how they became brighter and more evident. In a dream, our love, hate, sadness, and anger are more intense. The feelings permeate us completely, impossible to hide. If you feel passion for a person, you'll be frenzied in your dream. As if it's anger you feel, you'll be overcome by a wave of fury. That's why it's much easier to work with feelings through neuromancy.
They become visible and tangible. You can interact with them and change them. You can touch a person's ki and balance it the way you deem necessary. Green often hides jealousy or envy.
Oh, so everyone around me. Let me stop. Sorry. Sorry.
Yellow's the color of kindness, and shades of blue represent sadness.
That's me. The blue is me.
It's important to pick out the ones you're going to work with. If you confuse one emotion with the other, you'll get a completely different outcome.
Eva wished she could get into her own dream and cut the strings off fear stretching from her to Amen. The emotion prevented her from thinking straight and making decisions exactly what the situation called for. If I get picked for the hunter squad, I'll stay away from Amen. I can't stay away from this man. I know it. Try to get to know him better, find out more about him through other people. Try to get to know him better. Honesty. When you understand your enemy, it's much easier to find ways to defeat them. Maybe I can even get used to him and talk to him without fear? Despite your fear, Amen piqued your interest. He sadly did. Ramesses leaned toward her. Where did he come from?
You're not paying attention.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my soulmate. Is that seriously your biggest problem right now?
You haven't been yourself after what happened yesterday. No wonder I'd be scared too if I were you. You'd never know that he's the upstate by looking at him. He's creepy.
I don't recognize him in the alley either, but I noticed a tattoo on his hand and that's when it hit me.
I've heard something about hunters' tattoos, but I've never seen one. What did it look like?
Suddenly, their mentor chimed in.
Sun, eye, hand, and anchor. Hunters are the pharaoh's hand, administering justice to all Sheshmu. That's how those symbols can be interpreted. Avits and Ramesses, I admire and envy how carefree you are. Have you already learned how to sever emotional ties in a dream? Do you know everything?
When a teacher wants you to focus on their lesson when you have an exam to write in the next hour. Yeah.
Does that even matter now? And Thebes will all be constantly watched. We don't know if we're going yet, so you'd better study hard.
Path of honesty. We all know we'll be recruited. The apostates made it clear.
Then why protesting, Thebes? Suck it up and start packing.
You were against me going to Thebes.
I can't protect you forever. At some point you'll have to learn how to be careful and stealthy. That time is now. Our main skill is to always be ready to adjust to the circumstances around us. Flexibility, cunning, and good eye for trade are what Sheshmu are practically good at. Since there is a high probability that you will get to Thebes, you'll need to understand what's going on there and work with it.
It will be swarming with hunters.
This can become a unique training in the course of which you will either become talented dark magicians or die.
I did say that I appreciate his honesty. With that, Rimao considered the subject closed and returned to his lecture. The lessons ended as the sun had already started setting. Eva felt uncomfortable, as if everything that was happening was her fault. She tried to convince herself that her encounter with the apostates in the alley was just an accident that couldn't have been avoided. However, she kept worrying. Damn that night. Imagining a trip to Thebes and actually going there are two very different things. Instead of having dinner with a friend, she took her things and walked to the shore. Poor her! The sound of the water and rustle of the leaves calmed her down. When she felt overwhelmed by negative emotions, Eva preferred to hide from everyone and deal with it on her own. Me. I go into bed, honestly. I don't try to sleep because I can't sleep. My head is completely covered in all those negative emotions, but yeah. I close myself off. I want to deal with these things by myself. She looked at the sky, streaked with pink, and wondered what led her to such an occupation. The trouble in her family? The fact that she had run away from home? Or maybe she was born to practice dark magic? She didn't like to remember the past and didn't want to, but her pain and resentment weren't easy to forget. Are we born with this darkness in our souls, or does it find us later in life? Girl, you ask me? She took out the cloak and mask the Sheshmu wore when fulfilling commissions, the only thing that was going to matter to her in the future. One day, Eva was going to look in the mirror and see Set's long snout instead of her face. She was going to become the embodiment of darkness, blood, and everything forbidden. Suddenly, there was a rustle behind her. Him. Some choices are timed. Think fast. Eva jumped and threw her mask and cloak into the Nile, sat on top of her mask and cloak. Covering her belongings, Eva pretended as if she was just admiring the landscape. A young woman came out of the bushes. Who is she? She had a very strange expression on her face, surprised and interested.
Sorry to bother you.
Eva looked up at her, puzzled.
I was looking for lizards. I'm collecting them for work.
What does that have to do with me? Am I in your way? I'm not making noises or scaring them.
No, but I noticed something. You're a Sheshmu, right?
Eva's heart sank. If it were any other day, she would have laughed at the absurdity of the situation. But right at the moment, feeling close to her breaking point, she didn't feel like laughing. What on earth?
I saw a mask in your hand. My brother told me about the black plates that you use.
That's enough. Stop insulting me. The woman lowered her head.
Isn't the mask that one?
She pointed to the plate that was sticking out from one edge of the cloak. Eva knew that sooner or later she had to get up to leave. If the woman planned to watch her and she collected lizards, she was going to see everything.
Minus?
Why? If she would have thrown it into the lake, she would have seen it. This doesn't concern you.
It does. I saw everything.
Eva pulled the cloak and mask from under herself, crumbled them so that it wasn't clear what they looked like, and threw them into the river. Now you can stand there and wonder what it was. You can't prove anything.
I'm sorry, am I stupid?
If you throw something into the river, it doesn't sink. It's clothes. They're gonna remain on the surface, like they would have seen something. What you mean? Eva threw her hands up in exasperation. What do you want from me? The more Eva thought about it, the more frightening and cruel thoughts crossed her mind. She immediately remembered the last commission. Maybe she could knock her unconscious or push her. She wasn't sure what she could do.
My name is Tenonet. I need your help.
My help?
I thought I'd be able to find the dark magician in Hermopolis. Everyone is hiding in Thebes. I was starting to lose hope.
Eva's question escaped her lips before she had time to think. What kind of help? She stopped abruptly, then grimaced. Actually, it's not my problem. Leave me alone.
Are you interested? Will you help me?
I'm not.
I'll pay you well, honestly, look.
Tono pointed at her shimmering gold earrings.
My family has money. I'll pay you very well, I swear.
This is tempting, but what if the hunters sent her? Amen? No, it's not worth it. I'm not a dark magician. Get off my back before I call for help. Eva got to her feet irritably and motioned to leave. Tonor grabbed her arm and turned her around.
I didn't expect you to refuse. I tried to be nice to you.
Eva tried to wriggle out, but the woman only tightened her grip. Have you had too much beer? Oh, not too much beer.
I'll send the hunters after you if you don't help me.
I'll drown you right here. You want to threaten me? You do not threaten me. If you want something from me, you have to go with it with logic. You don't threaten me. I'll push you into the Nile. The current will carry your body very far. When you're alone with someone, you should watch what you say.
I'll scream. That'll make things even worse for you.
Eva started to panic a little, not knowing what to do. Getting even closer to Nenu said,
I'm coming back with the convoy. I'll tell them everything, understand? Or you could help me and I will stay silent.
It's just like Rems said. When Sheshmu are not useful, you can profit from turning them in. No one cares about justice. I'll try to threaten her one last time before agreeing. This is the first time I find myself in this kind of trouble. This is your last chance to leave, or I'll... Yeah, she's a bitch. Eva rushed to the girl and placed a hand over her mouth, hissing angrily. What do you want from me? What do you need me to do? Tanufi's lips curled into a smile.
Help me forget the man I love. I'm crazy about him, but it's an unrequited feeling.
A commission to sever ties. And behind Rameau's back, how can I tell him?
I've heard that you can lessen any sorrow. Make someone fall out of love, or even help them remember something. I wanted him to love me, but another dark magician told me that you can create love. Then make it so that I stop loving him.
If you already have a dark magician, why on earth are you here to bother me?
He's gone. He got caught and was executed in Thebes.
Wow, what a pain in the ass. Eva jerked her hand away. She replied resentfully, "Fine, bud. This is going to cost you extra." Yes, it's gonna cost you extra, especially after you just threatened me and said that you were gonna turn me in. Like, we're both going against the Pharaoh's wishes, so your silence cannot count as payment. I won't tell anyone whose services you seek either.
So what?
Pay me well, as if it were a complicated commission fulfilled by a professional sheshmu. I'll have to work through one neuromancy. I'll have to tamper with your mind. No waved dismissively and took out a pouch from her cleavage.
Here's an advance. I'll give you more when you come to help me. I don't carry many coins with me.
Eva took the money and put it away. You took money from Tonu. It will be useful in the future, okay?
Around midnight, you should be ready in the temple courtyard.
Why do you want us to go wander out there at the time of night? What do we say if we get caught?
I'll pick you up and take you to the house where I'm staying. We'll do everything there. I can get inside the temple.
So annoying. Now I have no mask, no cloak, and this. Tono made her promise to meet up later. Eva nodded reluctantly. The deal was made. And you got money. Eva never dared to tell anyone about it. She was ashamed. She was tricked and blackmailed like a naive fool, and things could have gone even worse. She had often heard about the cruel games that went on in the higher Sheshmu circles. They messed with each other and with the hunters and with the Pharaoh's people. As an apprentice, Eva was very far from all that.
I'm preparing myself to leave, to be honest.
Dia was lying in her bed, thoughtfully looking at the ceiling. Have you lost all hope?
Yes, and yet, Isman is going there alone. It wouldn't be better if we were together, right?
Oh dear, you're like an unrolled scroll. Maybe you're right. Besides, Eamon suspects our mentor and will take everyone who has taken lessons with him. That means us.
Are you feeling alright? You seem distracted.
That man distracts me. Don't worry about it. I'm just worried about this trip. Dia didn't question her father, lost in her own thoughts. Orion was laying by Eva's bed. He was snoring peacefully, as serene as if he had lived in her room for many years. Even when Eva began to worry about the upcoming commission, the dog seemed to understand. He put his head on the bed, looking at Eva with his golden eyes. Aww. He scratched his ears, but it felt as if she was actually calming herself. When the girls put out the lamp and went to bed, Eva waited for half an hour, then slipped silently out of the room. Walking slowly along the empty corridor, she was trying to come up with an excuse in case she got caught. In the current situation, the smallest thing could attract unwanted attention. The fact that Eva took a commission behind her mentor's back and a type she had no experience with, it was bad. Very bad. I shouldn't have agreed. I should have hit her hard and left her lying there. But she's in love. People in love are always crazy. Is that Eamon? I keep on thinking it's him because I actually have the feeling that he has the talent to show up when you least expect it and when you least need it. Okay?
Where are you going?
Huh? Eva froze at first, but immediately changed her mind and kept walking. She wasn't doing anything wrong, and she didn't have anything on her. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Who's this? How do I even... Too many men in this game. Too many men.
What are you still up at this? Why are you still up at this hour? Haven't you heard the rumors about the greedy butcher? Now they're watching everyone who's walking around like this.
She was stopped by a tall, strongly built man. She glanced surreptitiously at his fingers. The signs of the hunters. Oh, it's one of you. You scared me. I act natural. There is not a single clue to reveal what I am doing.
My name is Titian.
Okay.
I'm from the 9th detachment. Show me your belongings.
Eva held out a small leather bag that she was carrying with her. The hunter rummaged through it, trying to find a plate or a cloak. He looked up at her.
There is nothing.
What were you looking for? She tried to play dumb. Good. I literally said it like that. Titan believed her but didn't back down.
Where are you going at this time?
It's not against the law to walk after sunset. Honestly, being a smart mouth is gonna get me in trouble someday. I just need to go get some fresh air. He's gonna say, yeah, you had it, now you can go back. I have the right not to answer. I have the right to remain silent. Everything you say will or will not be held against you in the court of law. Haha. I'm going to meet my lover. It's not against the law to walk after sunset. Honestly, I think this would be a smart mouth. I'm going to meet my lover, okay? He works in the fields until dark and I study. This is the only way we can find time to meet. Cunning, okay?
Why would an educated woman get involved with a simple worker? Who are you? Are you studying to become a scribe, a healer, or a priestess?
He also helps his father at their inn. Their food is great. Everyone who's passing through Hermopolis eats at their place. Titan nodded several times, looking closely at Eva. Then a gleam appeared in his eyes.
Fine, go. But you'd better not wander around at night. You're pretty.
Oh, thank you.
What if someone with unkind thoughts takes a liking to you?
Oh, look at his face. Oh, is he a love interest? Renown, let's go. You came up with an excuse on the first try. Let's go. I am a queen. Oh my god. Is he a love interest? Is he a love interest? The hunter crossed his arms and added,
Even though you women are free here, don't get too bold.
Didn't I just say that the first one would have been too bold? Like,
we're adopting the Macedonian way of life at such a speed that it will soon affect you too.
Eva snorted under her breath. Her situation at the moment was too vulnerable and dangerous for her to argue about rights and freedoms. Trying not to show her shaking hands, she left the temple. Tono found her soon after. She cautiously peeked around every corner, checking if there was anyone else nearby. Having made sure it was safe, the woman headed to the house.
You're late, why?
I ran into a hunter.
Did he see you?
Pretend to be my friend in case something happens. I came to you to gossip. He didn't suspect anything, but if they ask...
Let's get this done quickly. My parents shouldn't see us either.
But where are you going to sleep?
Here.
Tenno pointed to a small pavilion in the courtyard, scattered with comfortable pillows, flowers, and a small pond. Aww. A home belonging to a wealthy family, a world where Eva never belonged. She would look enviously at those houses through their gates. People like Eva suffered hunger and poverty in their youth. I feel this. People like Tuno suffered unrequited love. Wow. The scale of their tragedies was incommensurable. The thought made Eva angry. It's one thing to help a Zenith, and quite another to deal with this fool. She can't get the guy out of her head. Big deal.
I'll get comfortable. I think it'll be quick. I drank something to fall asleep faster.
Because of the fence, no one could see what they were doing. What did you drink?
I found blue lotus wine in the house. My fantasies will become more vivid and you'll deal with them faster. Look.
A jug of wine. What is this woman? Eva struggled not to swear at her that. You blue lotus wine? Are you serious? Tuna pouted.
Why, what's wrong?
It stimulates passion, you stupid girl. I'm not going to get into your dream when you're not yourself.
That's sad that he drinks it when he can't sleep.
Invisible God, how old are you?
Old enough to blackmail you. You can't refuse.
Eva realized that she was losing control of the situation. Blue lotus wine was a powerful aphrodisiac, often drunk to dull the mind and awaken desire. Alright, bud. Give me the wine. Honestly, we need to be drunk too at this point. Let me stop. We need to be drunk too. Give me the wine. Eva yanked at the jug. Tino let go of it and glanced at Eva sulking.
Why would you want it?
My main concern is that you don't have it. You took the stimulating wine. It can be used in the future. Okay. She corked the jug, then put it in her bag. Why indeed would I want it? But it never hurts to have such a drink. It might come in handy. Let us stimulate Amon's desire for us in the future. I'm so sorry. While the young woman was getting comfortable on the pillows, Eva felt her heart sink at the thought of what she was about to see. A woman's fantasy heightened by a treacherous wine. Save my life, R.A. I won't be able to stay in her dream for a long time anyway. I don't have a mask to keep Tenno's soul next to my. I'll get in there, do what I can quickly, and get rid of her. Flushed and satisfied, Tino dozed off. Leaving wasn't an option, as Eva needed the rest of the payment. I need a new cloak and plate to make a mask. Eva approached the woman and looked her over. Young, fresh and naive, madly in love and reckless, not being able to forget her loved one made her desperate. I can feel you, and I understand. Eva leaned over to know and pressed their foreheads together. She closed her eyes, taking in the usual warm waves of Ki. Gentle, light, all the dreams and hopes of the young woman, invisible and fragile, touched Eva's skin, and she drowned in them. Eva opened her eyes. She was lying on cotton sheets scattered on the floor. The floral scent of essential oil permeated the walls and the fabric. It was someone's house, filled with personal belongings, clothes and papyri. The next thing Eva noticed was red haze pooling in every corner. A breath of passion. Tino is so overcome by it that she cannot hide her desire. It filled her whole dream. Eva immediately glanced at the bed. Fortunately, it was empty. However, it was unmade and disheveled. Pillows were scattered on the bed and on the floor next to it. It hadn't been empty for long. The lovers must be somewhere around here. Looking around the room, Eva peeked at the papyrus. Part of the text was in Greek and part in Egyptian. It says something about herbs and medicines. It was written by a healer. But Tino was born in Egypt. Why would she write in Greek? This is not her room. Did she get tangled up with a visiting healer? Suddenly it dawned on her. She rushed to the nearest window and looked out. That wasn't Hermopolis. She looked closer and noticed the outlines of magnificent buildings in the shape of people. Yeah. Are we in Thebes? Yes, something similar to the Temple of Amun-Ra in Thebes. Let's go. That's right, she said she lived here. I'm in Thebes. Turning around, Eva almost jumped in surprise. Tino was lying in bed, soft, naked. Everything was happening according to the laws of dreams. She wasn't there when the dream started. And she didn't come there either. She just appeared on the scene, and that's where her dream had begun. Eva tried to go unnoticed. She decided to start by observing.
Where are you? The bed is getting cold.
She heard footsteps and splashes of water in the adjoining room. He has his own washing water in his room? A rich man. Ooh. The only thing hiding his nudity is a tiny cloth. The half-naked man entered the bedroom, stretching lazily. He actually looks like Eastman. Can I just say? His smooth bronze skin was moist and shiny, and his hair was tousled after the time spent in pleasure. Eva immediately noticed the red haze shimmering around his body. Here it is, the main source of Tino's lust. He didn't even look at the woman in his bed, heading straight for the scrolls. Eva quietly picked up a small knife from the table. She was planning to run up to him, cut the thread, and get out of that dream. She took a step forward and finally noticed there were no soul-binding threads between the two of them, one kind that lovers have. When people love each other, they are connected by a strong, obvious tie, but there is no such thing between them. There is no love here. Theo didn't love him. She just wanted him. She had either lied to Eva or she truly believed in what she said. I thought I'd have to waken her love, but this is just lust. Intervene, I would say. As long as nothing happens, I'm wasting my precious time. They can go back to bed any moment now. Her fantasies are a mess because of the wine. I don't want it to come to that.
Why are you still here?
Huh? He spoke over her shoulder without taking his eyes off the text on the papyrus. Eva was about to open her mouth.
Don't you want to come back to me? Livius, please. We haven't seen each other in days. Stop sitting with your face buried in your notes.
Finally, Livius looked at her.
I'm working. And you're working too. First we need to get on with our task and then we can rest.
What tasks? You're done with everything.
I couldn't help them in the way I tried, so I have to find another.
No, why do they get all your attention? They're going to die anyways.
He didn't like her words. Yeah, she's probably talking about the people that are dying because of the disease that's spreading, right? Like, girl. He narrowed his eyes and said venomously,
That's enough. I warned you. You're my assistant before anything, so do what you're here to do. I'm not looking to commit to you. I've told you many times, I don't need you.
Ooh! The red smoke became brighter, filling the whole room. Eva noticed a distinct thin scarlet thread that stretched from Tenno to Livius. This is rage, passion and rage, because she can't get what she wants. The harder he rejects her, the stronger her emotions become. These ups and downs are why Tenno believes that she loves him. One day he sleeps in the same bed with her and holds her. The next he chases her away. Eva realized that she needed to cut that thread to eradicate Tenno's emotional attachment to that man. A man with way too much passion, but only for his work. A straightforward man, as it seemed.
Why are you doing this to me?
I feel bad for her. I do. But I still think it's dramatic. Like, you can't force someone to love you. And you would have immediately forgotten about him if you actually would have tried to put in your 2 cents. Like, we realized, we saw it ourselves. That's rage and passion. Like, she feels attracted to this man, but not because she actually loves him. She just wants him. She has sexual attraction to him. She gets turned on by him, and that's why she thinks she's in love with him. But that's it. As soon as she would have realized that, we wouldn't have needed to go into her dreams. Oh, I can't. A few more threads flashed. Blue, green, yellow. Blue is sadness. Green is jealousy and envy. And yellow... What was yellow again? Red is rage. So what was yellow? Sorrow? Livius provoked a storm of emotions inside her. Oh, wow. Oh, we got a picture from him. So he's a love interest, okay. Let me stop. Yeah, I can't tell who is a love interest anymore because we also got a picture with Amok and he's not a love interest, so... But he's fine, so I think he's gonna be a love interest. Look how fine he is. Oh my god, he played her feelings like a harp, and that made Tenno suffer. Her pain made her burn with resentment and even greater passion. The more she was overwhelmed by feelings, the more suffocating the room became. One moment it was like a sensual and tender melody, the next it was a rude and aggressive rhythm. I need to cut... Oh shit. The green, the yellow, the blue, the red. We need to sever the desire she has. Because if she just has sadness inside of her, then that's it. Go with the red one. Red is desire. Red is rage. Red is everything. Passion always interferes with reason. I will cut this, and Tenno will feel better. The choice you've made will determine the outcome. Eva was holding the blade that she'd found near the papyri. She walked boldly toward the young man, not afraid to interfere in their conversation. "Hey, you, turn around." The next moment she swung the blade and slashed at the thread. An instant before that, Livius looked up at her. "Oh, wow, okay." Fine ass man. The room began to fade, losing all colors. Having lost one of her emotions, Tino's whole dream became distorted. Only Livius remained the same as before. Eva's strength was running out. The dream gradually collapsed. It hurts so much. The job is done. I should leave, or this will turn into chaos.
Who are you?
Can't tell you that, handsome. The man rubbed his chest, looking at Eva thoughtfully. At that moment, he was really addressing her. She could talk to him if she wanted. Speak to the man. Sorry. Speak to the man. Having made up her mind to linger for just a moment, Eva replied, "It doesn't matter. Do you live in Thebes?"
Where do you think we are?
How are the things going here? Are you a healer?
Are you questioning me? Who gave you the right?
I gave it myself. Arrogant. And I get turned on by arrogant man. You're not much of a healer if you can't even answer a simple question. That. Livia's lips twitched in irritation. He answered reluctantly.
Things are bad. People are dying, and I haven't been able to do anything about it for a month.
Well, sir, it's not my fault. He sounded angry and helpless. Then he looked thoughtfully at Eva. He seemed to be one of those people who live for their work.
What are you doing here? I haven't seen you here before.
And you won't see me again. That is just a big-ass lie. And you won't see me again. You talked to Livius and obtained new information. He will remember you. Let's go.
Who is she? Do you know her?
Livius pointed to Eva. Tino, who only now noticed her, raised her eyebrows.
No. Yes, I think so. She's,
Tino hesitated, the shadows in the room trembling and beginning to fade. Remember me. That's it, the dream is about to collapse. Eva headed for the exit. Since Tino was in no danger, she could only leave her dream by dying herself or by being in an empty space. A place that didn't exist in the woman's dream, far from her and unfamiliar. Eva walked along the corridor for several minutes before the shape of the object began to grow blurrier and the world around her began to fade. The effects are amazing. Eva sat up abruptly, blinking. Tino was still asleep. She didn't really want to wake her up and talk to her, but she needed the rest of the payment. Path of honesty, she looked indifferently at the sleeping girl and thought, I'll just take what's mine and won't lie. We had agreed on terms of this deal in advance. Eva searched Tino and quickly found her money pouch. She then left the garden and headed back to the temple as quickly as possible. Madness, I wonder if it's really easier to work with the dead, as Ramesses says. You will soon find out if you manage to fulfill your commission. Okay. It seemed strange to Eva that the courtyard's gates were wide open. She snuck up to them from around the corner. Male voices, someone was talking quietly on the temple grounds. One of the voices belonged to Aemon. Yes, the other one, most likely to another hunter. What are they doing here? I swear, if he catches me out at night again, I won't get away with it. What are they discussing? And why are they in the temple courtyard? Eavesdrop. I have to. She held her breath and strained herself to hear anything.
With him. The sun has already set, and he's still sitting there. What are your orders? I will gather all his apprentices. I don't trust him. I have reasons to be suspicious.
Is he talking about Remo?
We'll capture all of them.
The smile.
Surely one of the puppies will be our guy. Or our girl. and the rest can still be useful. We need all the help we can get in Thebes. You don't usually find their kind inside temples. I don't share your suspicion, Epistates. We'll see.
He wants to send me, Rame, and Dia to Thebes? Or did he mean something else? Even if I'm wrong, I'll warn them anyway so they can burn the cloaks and masks just in case. You found out about the hunter's plans for your friends. This will affect the plot. Okay. In a hurry, Eva decided to enter the temple through another door. A few pebbles crunched under her feet, but no one seemed to notice. She walked faster to not get caught.
Did you hear that? Maybe it's that woman? Titian said there's one walking around.
Me. After passing through several dangerous corridors, she arrived at the one that led directly to her bedroom. She had spent a little more time than if she had walked through the temple directly, but she avoided any unpleasant encounters. Eva was glad that all her worries were finally over. Suddenly, a dark silhouette silently appeared from behind her, grabbed her arm, and stopped her abruptly. How's it going, my man? I knew it.
Scared? Yes, that's it. Why am I not surprised?
Why am I not surprised that you keep on following me, sir? What's the matter? Eamon nodded at her bag wordlessly.
You're wandering in the dark again. Aren't you tired of it?
No.
Show me, it's the second time I've caught you out of the sunset.
Eva flipped her bag inside out once again. He overestimates me. I'm too incompetent. I even work without a mask and a cloak. Eva's bag was empty, except for a jug.
What's this?
Wine.
You carry wine around.
Let a girl do what she wants to do, sir. This is a special kind. I specifically went to get it. Emma didn't think anything in particular afterwards and returned the bag.
You've had enough night's walk. Pack your things. You're coming to Thebes with my squad in a few days.
Of course I am. I didn't volunteer.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, he said you're coming and that's final. With those words, Eamon left. Damn it, I knew this was coming. Eva tried to stay calm and to think of all the ways this could be a good thing for her, as Remao said, but she was too young and too scared. We don't buy anything. The following morning, she told her friends about what had happened. Yes, she warned them that Eamon intended to recruit everyone into his squad. There could be searches, so all cloaks and masks were better disposed of as soon as possible. Ramesses, Dia, and Remao complied, though they weren't happy about it. Luckily, everything turned out for the best. You told your friends about Eamon's plans and kept them out of trouble. One day, the hunters came to find them. They told them of the apostate's orders to include everyone in his squad to go help in Thebes. The hunters searched the apprentices' rooms, but found nothing. This eased up some of their suspicions. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Things hadn't started well, however, their mentor prepared them all as best as he could. For several days, they trained to write text from dictation, learning to do it quickly and smoothly like real scribes. They weren't very good at anything else. They had been taught to read and write, but not the other subjects such as herbal medicine or religious practices. Eamon knew this and took them along to keep records. He could have found other more experienced scribes, but he chose Remao's apprentices on purpose. Remao strictly forbade everyone from taking commissions in Thebes without informing him first. Eva felt ashamed. The commission she had recently taken behind his back could have gotten her expelled. Tenno said she was going back to Thebes with the convoy. That means with us? This will come back to bite me, right? Of course it will. It always comes back. Karma. It's karma. It will always come back. On one of the last days before departure, everyone met for lunch. The other students who didn't know about their real occupation congratulated them and celebrated them. They had volunteered to help the sick, such a brave and selfless thing to do. But all three of them just sat there frowning. I'm going to keep my my head down. I'll sit in a stuffy room and write endlessly about how everyone around me is dying horribly. Dear.
You won't learn anything like that.
But I'll stay alive. Ooh.
And poor.
But don't.
And poor. Are you complete? After you complete your training, no one will feed you, clothe you, or give you shelter as they do in the temple. And without experience, no one will need you.
Dia leaned over to Ramesses, hissing. Well, have fun with your dead if that's what you want. Go dig around in your necropolises, but leave me alone. When you get caught, don't even dare utter one letter of my name. Ooh.
Look, she's been mean to me.
There's no point in guessing. Ram, why does this bother you so much? Stop fighting. Stop fighting, please. As if it's going to help you. Do what you want. No one can force you to take or not take commissions.
My brother said that we are going to work despite everything.
Eva leaned back in her chair and looked at the blue sky. It was so peaceful and clear. But inside her, in her personal world, a storm was raging. Then we will work. I have nothing to lose but myself.
You should be scared of the disease, not the hunters. If you don't take commissions, no one can bother you.
Everyone looked at Eastman. He had spent most of his time in the company of other healers. The ones he was going to Thebes with. When he found out that Eva and the others were also going, he had come to support them.
The disease takes many more lives than the pharaoh's hunters. I'll take my chances as my brother taught me. Do you want to lose your head? What are you doing here anyway? Volunteer.
Eastman and Ramesses glared at each other. It had taken them some time to learn to get along. Eastman didn't like what Eva did for a living. And Ramesses didn't like that she revealed her secret to her friend. Eva was not in the mood to listen to them arguing. Too much had happened in the past week. She was afraid that Tuno would come to the temple, but she never heard from her again. She just got up and went to her room to pack. So did we do it or did we not do it? A few days went by. There were several dozen cariots on the main street. Hunters, volunteer healers, and fellow travelers laid out their things there. Everyone who could be of any use in Thebes was there. Eva's heart skipped a beat when she noticed Tino. She was smiling at someone and making conversation, rummaging in her bag. Eva turned away so as not to catch her eye. Would they live side by side now? She also noticed Dia and Eastman in the crowd waiting for departure next to a chariot. She also needed to find an empty seat. It would have been faster to use riding horses, but carts and chariots were needed to carry the necessary supplies. Only 2 or 3 people could ride in each chariot, so a crowd gathered in the square. Can we sit next to Aemon? Walking along the convey, Eva realized that most carriages were already occupied. She found herself all the way to the front. I love it. As expected, the convey was added by Aemon's massive chariot. He was standing next to it, directing the proceedings. A whiff of pomegranate and white marital oil similar to sage reached her nose. It was a fresh, tart, and unusual scent. It was the scent of healing oils. She looked around trying to figure out whose perfume that was. Was it Aemon's? Fine-ass man. He caught her eye.
Why are you still here?
You want me to ride on the top? Like, where am I supposed to go? Everything is full. Where else should I be?
In a chariot.
Everything is full. I couldn't find a free one. Thank you. Aemon stopped one of his men.
Where was she assigned?
Forgot it. Titian scanned the list, then he frowned and shrugged. I love it. I love myself. I'm great.
No, we didn't expect to take so many scribes from Hermopolis. We needed to figure out where to put her.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to sit with him. I'll find a seat myself. No, you're gonna stay here. He's gonna say you're gonna stay here. I love this. I love it so much.
Stay here. Let Titan deal with this.
The apostates nodded at him. No more was needed for his man to set off to solve the problem. Eva noticed that Aemon was standing in his cape, the one she saw him wearing the first time she laid eyes on him, in the very same square. She thought he might be using it to shield himself from the sun. At that moment, Orion ran up to Eva, putting his front paws on her. Hey, down, you can't do that. Oh, Ryan. Go to Eastman. He took you in, you're going with him. I don't even have a seat for myself, let alone for you. Oh, he's pouting. The dog licked Eva's hand and then headed toward Eastman. Aemon had been watching.
I remember this creature. It was there that night. Did you tame it?
My friend persuaded me. I like animals. It's nice to have someone to pet.
Ah, a good deed.
Aemon looked up at the sky. He frowned and shook his head.
We have to hurry. Get on.
He says you're gonna sit with me. Where? Into his carriage, or however you pronounce it. Yes,
on the carriage. It's time to go. We can't linger.
Going to Thebes in the same carriage as Aemon? Yes. Yes. There is no reason to argue. I love it. Eva clutched the bag with her belongings and asked awkwardly, What did I just climb in? What do I just climb in? Aemon didn't answer. He took her things and handed them to Titian.
Pack it up and get in. We're leaving.
He nodded to Eva to get settled. She'd never ridden anything like this before, so she began climbing up clumsily. When she lost her step, Aemon caught her by the shoulder and pushed her up a bit. He did everything quickly and silently. He was clearly exhausted from all those preparations. Titian came back moments later. The two of them took their seats next to Eva. She noted with horror that there wasn't that much space for the three of them. We're gonna sit on your lap. Her mentor was looking at her from one of the other carriages, his eyes wide open. She could read it in his eyes.
Are you crazy?
Oh, Remo, I love him. As if she could do anything about it, she wasn't given that choice. For a little longer, everyone else kept taking their seats. Eva gripped the edge of the carriage as hard as possible. Soon after, they departed. Oh my god! The carriage was shaking a lot. Aemon was quite calm, clearly used to it. Titian watched the road, turning to look at the convoy from time to time. Invisible God, how long am I going to have to shake like this? How many days of travel are ahead? A large rock got under the wheels and the carriage suddenly jumped. Eva didn't expect that to happen and started to fall forward. A strong hand caught her in time, stopping her fall. Oh my god. Let's go. Let's go, yes. Thumbnail. With nothing to grab onto, Eva quickly grabbed Aemon's clothes. She realized that she didn't have a good grip and instinctively moved her hands to his chest. Once again, it was a rather precarious hold. Damn it, it's the first time I've ridden something like this. I'm so sorry, gods. The carrier jumped again. Eva froze, clinging to the apostates. She didn't care about the rules of decency anymore. She was just afraid she'd fall flat on her face. About a minute later, the road got better. She looked up to apologize again. Aemon looked down at her calmly. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the tension. Myrtle and pomegranate. Yes, it was definitely his scent. He didn't move, waiting for Eva to stop shaking.
Come on, grab the side of the carrier, or are you going to sit like this until we reach Thebes?
Yes. His gaze shifted to her trembling fingers, which were holding on to him. Yes. Girl, I just said it like that. What you mean? I would be dying of embarrassment, honestly. Yes, only one moment. Just one moment. Let me just hold on to you for just one moment. Eva tried to grab onto the carriage with one hand, but she was too afraid to lose her balance and fall off. Usually bold and unsure of herself, she felt unsettled. Eamon didn't take long to notice. He stepped forward into the carriage, forcing Eva to take a step back. That way, he stood in the way of the most dangerous area. The movement pushed her closer to a place she could finally manage to grab with both hands.
Hold on tight.
He's fine. He's so fine. I'm sorry again. Look at this. I am done. Fine-ass man. Eamon will remember this ride. Not only him. Gradually, Hermopolis was left behind. In leaving her city, Eva also left her former self. Her life as she knew it was over. No more lessons, no more familiar winding streets. Now they all had to learn to survive in a place where the curse was raging. A place from which all the dark magicians had fled. A place where there was nothing but fear and death. He is a fine-ass man. He's a fine-ass man. Oh, I love this story. I really am. I really, really am. Oh my god. Well, anyways, I'm intrigued to find out what the next episode is gonna bring. Let me have another beautiful moment. Like, I love that you can have a picture every single episode. Like, yes. If I have to pay gems for literally every single choice I take, at least make it worth my while. Like in Heaven's Secret 2, like they're not just doing illustrations anymore, they're also doing animations. Make it worth my while. You make me spend 60 gems, 56 gems, 155 gems. Like, let me have something in return. I love this. Literally every single episode had illustrations. 1 was the minimum, and 2 was the maximum. Yes, give me something in return. I have to pay, so give me at least something I can look at. I am living for the growing desire between Eamon and our character Eva. I am so intrigued to find out what happens. He's fine. And the lover, I don't remember the name, but the lover we had to sever the connection with, he's fine too. Like, come on now. I'm intrigued if we're gonna see him again, because the vision said that he was gonna remember us, so we have to see him again. It has to be. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.